Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lava City Threads. I'm Alveraz. Let's start with some numbers and then we'll jump into a top 10 what sold for the week. So we listed about 150 last week. I'm trying to list about 30 a day. So fell a little bit behind there. Sold 52, which is about even with the previous week. And the total revenue was $1,700, total profit about $1,400. If you've been watching my videos, my what sold videos, you'll note that I have been rebuilding my stores since some much needed time off. And so I'm trying to get 30 out a day, and we also have a target of $2,000 a week profit. Right now we're at $1,400, but it's been steadily climbing over the last several weeks, so we're headed in the right direction. Profit last week was $27 average per item, which is well over our floor of $15. So $15 is my floor that I want to make on profit. So we're doing pretty good in that area too. So let's get going. Soft surroundings, pull-on pants. Where's the label here so you can take a look? Here's what the label looks like and my goofy fingers. This was an XL. Kind of had an interesting pattern and a texture to it. So I went for it, took a shot on it, and it sold the same day. And the sale price was for $26.03. I did get asking, and I'll probably come in around $20 there profit. All of my clothes I'm taking a look at this week, in this week are going to be a $2 cost of goods. Next up, we have this really cool old vintage Champions yellow sweatshirt, full zip, that I picked up almost a year ago. I really thought this was going to go a lot faster just because of like the really cool patch on the back, and it was in really nice condition, but it took almost a year to sell. By the way, I like to get pit to pit and neck to hem measurements put inside the pictures for my shirts, usually on jackets. I'll also give a sleeve length. I didn't on this one, I'm pretty sure. There's a tag there. So pretty old school Champions jacket. I think probably from the 60s, I think is what we researched. It did have some light stain here, so maybe that's what caused me a problem. Looks like a couple. So now we might be seeing exactly why it stuck around for a year. But what I've found usually with these kind of old vintage jackets is the kids don't mind. They don't care a little bit of blemish here and there. So we finally ended up getting rid of it there for 30-something bucks. So there you go. Here's a pair of HS Trask saddle shoes, size 11, brown leather, braided texture. I thought those were just kind of cool. I remember though, I didn't look up the sell-through rate on these because I was just going by gut on that one. And this one, I don't know how long it took it to sell though. I think it might have only been a few months, but it was longer than expected, 43 days. And the sale price was for 30. I listed it for 35. I think I had expected these to move a little bit faster, but then upon hindsight, when I did take a look at the sell-through rate, which I don't really use that much to be honest with you, it turned out that it was a little saturated. So that's why it took a little bit to sell, but they did go for 30 bucks. Next up, we have some Allegria Fiona floral slides. Been getting into Allegra lately. I wasn't before, now I am. So these are what you're looking for here, but they always have really nice colors and they seem to be kind of substantial and they feel really nice. So not on my feet, I wouldn't know, but I mean, but when I'm holding them and picking them up, I can usually tell that they're pretty solid pieces. It's a really nice brand. And I want to say the retail's really high. So take a look at these. They go pretty quick usually. I think I got rid of these. Listed them for $35. I got $32 for them over on eBay. Next up, we have this pair, and I put these on my last week's or the week before's thrifting video. Make sure you guys are subscribing because I'm going to try to put up a couple videos a week. Usually me going out or what I've recently listed and then what I sold. These are Spring Step Catalina loafers. I just thought these were kind of cool. They have really nice stitching to them. They were in really great condition. I think these are the ones that were made in Israel. Let's see. No, these ones are made in Turkey. So Spring Step, this is what you're looking for here. Here's a little logo here. Again, these are the ones I talked about in the recently listed, I believe. Make sure you get that size in there. You can also convert it, right? Like, so if you get a European size, what I've been doing is throwing in the US size as well. Make sure you're doing that if you'd like. Next up, we got some, what did I get for those? Didn't even say $42. So that's a pretty nice pickup there for a month. This was a lot of 2 511 tactical cargo pants. This has always been bread and butter for me. They used to go for a lot more, but now what's nice about something like this is I found 2 pairs at, I believe it was an estate sale, and the same size, so you can lot them up and you can flip them a little bit quicker for still a pretty good penny. And you're not dealing with processing one at a time, right? So saving time, reducing your systems to be more effective, reducing your hours, minutes. Here's what the tag looks like there. Let's see, I listed it for $44.97 and I got $41.77 for those. This is another new brand to me, and I was able to pick up 2 at a sale, and both of them are getting a lot of traction. This is a pair of Finn Comfort Zanzibar shoes, some walking sandals right now, midsummer. Make sure you guys are double checking on sandals because they're going pretty fast for me. Finn Comfort, they're made in Germany. They had some really neat hits on them too. This kind of 3D piece here and here. And it had kind of a really nice dark navy color to them. So we listed them for $49.97 and we sold them for $41, and it looks like they were only listed for a day. Who knows, maybe I got sniped on that. Maybe I should have went a little higher. It's a new brand to me. You have to experiment. I did some comps on them though, and that was right in the middle there of what I was asking. But I will tell you this, if I'm putting out anything fall related or winter related, okay, jeans sell year round, right? But what I like to do is to price my jeans a little higher in the spring and summer, so that way during all of my sales and reductions over the months, they hit kind of a sweet spot by the time it hits fall. So they sell at a market value, right? A better market value. But I don't do that with things like sandals or lighter clothing, activewear, a lot of jogging and tennis and sports related clothing. I will usually average them 10 to 15% below the average going sold comp. So that way I can move them quickly, try to get them out of there. So I'm not stuck with them in the fall, dealing with sandals, trying to get rid of those in the fall and having to take deep discounts. Next up, we got a pair of Ariat boots. Picked this up from a nice lady at a garage sale recently, who I had to make her take my money. She was trying to give these away to me. And I'm like, I got to give you a couple bucks for these. I think I gave her 3, actually. I know I said my cost of goods was 2 for all of these pieces, but this particular one I gave her 3 because she was really nice and I'm a sucker. So there you go. So we listed them for $53 and we got $53 and we sold them in 2 days over on Poshmark. Okay, so this one's a bundle and it's a vintage Giorgio Sant'Angelo shirt. And it was bundled with this Eddie Bauer green skirt, a vintage piece that I talked about again in that video of what was recently listed. And I just love that skirt. So this one came out to right around 60-something bucks total. This was just an interesting kind of chambray denim piece, actually, by Giorgio Sant'Angelo. And let's see if I can find a tag for you. But what was cool about that was all these hand-painted designs on it. And frankly, I have no idea if that came with the piece or if that was added later. Someone who out there who deals with custom pieces, maybe you can tell me. But either way, the seller really liked it. And they bundled that up with this Eddie Bauer, vintage Eddie Bauer skirt, which I thought was really cool. And it had this kind of interesting pink paisley pattern on it as well. Here's the tag you're looking for there. You'll also find in the vintage Eddie Bauer the kind of pyramid scheme on it as well. So make sure you're looking out for that. I don't pick up much Eddie Bauer. I'll pick up some of their more high-tech modern stuff, jackets, things like that sometimes, but be very careful with Eddie Bauer. It's tricky because you can have a piece that'll sit there for a year or a piece that will, like this one, sell in a few days. Cool. And then finally, we've got a vintage flax jacket. I talked about this in what's recently listed earlier because I just fell in love with this jacket. It's a really cool, oversized linen, fully linen chore pocket jacket, full zip, and it just had that kind of, I don't know, old school Carhartt feel almost, but it was linen and it was really strange and it had a really nice texture, really nice texture to it. And here's the label you're looking for, and it's flax by, what is that, Jean Engelhardt? And then it says here, what does it say? I'm not stuck with anything unless I stick to it. Just weird. I don't know. I've never seen this before. But it's funny enough, like a week later, I ended up picking up another flax piece that was also linen, but it was just a long sleeve shirt. So I'll let you know if I can get rid of that. So maybe you guys know more about flax than I do. Maybe it's a big seller, but it's sold really fast to a gentleman in Japan through Etsy. And if you know anything about international shipping on Etsy, it's really something else. So he paid the $89, and I think shipping was right around $70. So that's going to do it for today. If you like what I showed you so far, be sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you in a few more days, and we'll go over some recently listed. Ciao.